check
That's
it
cool.
out.
That's cool. As long as you got Tilly, did you get yours as well? Yeah.
Did you email that?
Yeah, I sent it via
Because
email.
I did not.
Ah.
Yeah. Maybe maybe I can send you my email again.
Yeah, I used the only way I managed to send the email to you guys is because Janica, he had put everyone's email in that email that he sent, and that's the only way that I was able.
Okay,
But I didn't have anybody else's email.
Okay, then I don't know why it didn't come.
Double check it and see if it's gone in the junk mail.
Yeah, right.
If it's in the junk mail, it's probably in there.
So how did you manage to get that, or what did you do there?
No, I just cached it. That's all. So it would just go off. It would just go off by the memory, and I kept some. Luckily, I had some files open, some tabs open, so I was able to save them as a PDF. So I was working on it, so that made life a little bit easier.
That's good.
Yeah, if I didn't do it that time, I would have forgotten, and then I wouldn't have done it. So it just helps everybody out. So all good. Yeah. You got yours, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Yeah, I got
that. Sarah, did you get yours as well? Sarah. Sarah. Her mic's off.
Probably the mic's off, yeah. Unmute. I can unmute. No, I can unmute. Unmute audio. No. All right, guys. I wanted to show you something. I've been working on. It's a new kind of like a project with motion graphics, and I show this video on the Express newspaper. 1 second, who's this? 1 minute, I'm in a call. Okay, no problem. Sorry, no worries. Kind of like, let me just show you this, and then we talk about this, how I managed to did this animation, and then Express. All right, okay. Express. All right. It's a quite simple animation, but I was going through the work process. It's only 25% finished, but another 75 to go, to be honest, and it's a good practice for me as well. So let me just show you. Okay, what screen can you see now? What do you see? Can you see at the Express page?
Processing, that's all.
Processing, okay.
Okay, it's connecting.
Oh, okay, hold on. What's going on? Okay, here. Right. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, Express.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can see it.
Right. R rate, what is R rate in your area? So let's watch this video, and then I'll show you how these guys are done. I mean, they've probably done it pretty good. I quite like the audio as well, so.
That must be met before.
Okay. Can everybody hear it and see it, right?
Yeah.
The government has set out 5 tests that must be met before we begin to adjust social distancing measures. One of the most important tests is the rate of infection. We have to make sure this is decreasing. All viruses, like normal flu, have a rate of infection. Scientists call this R. R is the average number of people one infected person passes a virus on to. To beat coronavirus, we need to keep R as low as we possibly can. Imagine 100 people are all infected. If R is more than 1, then those 100 people will infect more than 100 people, and in turn, they will infect even more. The virus is spreading quickly. If R is less than 1, Those 100 people will infect fewer than 100 people, and in turn, they will infect even fewer. The rate of infection is slowing down and coming under control. Scientists around the world have been tracking the R of coronavirus since the start of the outbreak. In March, at its peak, R was around 3, which seems to be the natural rate for this virus. Since then, thanks to you and the social distancing measures you followed, we've been able to reduce R, and it is now below 1. But we've only just passed the peak of the virus, and it's vital R stays below 1. Over the coming weeks and months, the government will be monitoring R very carefully. It will be a key factor in how social distancing measures are used in the future.
Okay, so I actually, if you look at the animation, so it's very simple, right? And if you kind of like go through sort of frame by frame, and it's very clear. So you see this, whatever she says on the audio in that scene, and there was a like a title, subtitle, not subtitle, but like it's kind of like a titles going on the bottom, right? See that it's very clear.
Is the average number of people one infected person passes a virus.
So if somebody have a problem with hearing, or maybe maybe colors, problem with colors, looking at the colors, and even the selection of the colors were very, very clear.
To
and
beat coronavirus, we need to keep R as low.
Yeah. So I actually managed to animate up to here. I did this one.
5 tests that must be met before we begin to adjust social distancing measures.
So this is explainer animation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Janica, I was gonna incorporate the subtitles in my video as well. I was gonna ask for some help today for that.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the process. So what happened? What happened was I went through. Actually, I couldn't download this video anyway because it's not in YouTube. It's actually embedded in Express paper website. So I kind of like, I mean, I cannot even download the audio, right? So it's because it's there embedded. I managed to record the screen. I mean, it's a long process. So let's forget that. So I actually got the audio somehow this morning. I've been trying for the last 2 days. And so what happened was, if you want to add text to every scene, your voice goes and explain. You got to start typing all that in a composition. Like you got to get ready your text in After Effects, all the text in this form.
Infection.
First of
we
all,
have to make sure this is decreasing.
Yeah. So I show you. I actually did this animation
before we begin.
But I haven't added the audio yet. But I'm going to go through today
to adjust social distancing measures.
So I actually did.
One of the most important tests is the rate of infection.
Yeah. So if you analyze the animation, it's very simple. It's they're animating it what? Tell me. Like look.
We have to make the most important test is
it's fading in, fade out. You can actually create all these graphics in Illustrator, in layers. Okay?
Rate of infection. We have to make sure.
How do you do this kind of animation? Can you tell me?
Rate of infection. We have to make sure this is decreasing.
And you see the transition. We talked about transition last week, remember? And Corey and Constant, you asked me, okay, so we'll go through some of the stuff. So you see it's moving to the left, yeah?
Yeah,
and
like the camera.
Yeah, the camera, exactly. So you got the rate of this slide here, and you got the other slide next to it. So you have both composition like this, and then the camera moves from left to right.
All viruses, like normal.
And then it's on the same.
Sorry, Janica, there's somebody, Maria, who's wanting to join the meeting.
Sorry? Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, cool. Yeah. And then
Blue have a rate of infection.
how would you animate how would you animate a bar coming up like this?
Have a rate of infection.
Just a position.
No. Like a sort of a growing up animation.
That's a mask you use, isn't it?
You can use mask. Constant, any idea?
Sorry, I lost you here.
Okay, let me ask you again. How would you animate
have a rate
that line?
Infection.
Oh,
mask. Scientists.
It could be a mask where, like I did, or.
Is anybody remember trim pads?
Yeah, well, isn't it with a mask? The trim pads.
No, trim pad is different.
Well, that's what I meant. No, that's what I did in my. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember the words.
Does anybody remember trim pads? No. Trim pads?
No, I don't remember it. I know you did it, but I can't remember how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
R is the average number of people one infected person passes a virus.
What's that?
That's the trim path again, isn't it?
Person passes a virus.
Exactly, mask.
That's a mask.
Yeah. So how would you add? So you know what mask does is just reveal a graphic, right? You can actually animate the mask, right? You remember? So how would you add? How would you add a red color and blue color? And when you add the revealing mask, you actually reveal red and disappear blue. Look at this again.
Of people, one infected person passes a virus.
How'd you do that?
Well, the mask again, no?
Yes, yeah, it's a mask. So what you need to do is you got to have two graphics on top of each other. So one is blue, the same exact graphic. The bottom layer is blue color, the top layer is red color. So in between you have the mask. So when you animate the mask, you actually disappear blue and reveal red.
Iris on check. To beat cover.
Okay, I'll show you.
See, I think I need a little bit of a refresher on that one.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
The trim paths and the masking, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I definitely need to, because I think that's probably going to work with what it was I was trying to explain to you last week with the letter coming in and sort of revealing the trim path and
Okay.
You could probably use that.
Mm-hmm.
Just a question. Did you put last week's recording?
No, it's already there. I haven't uploaded it. I will upload it today. Sorry, I've completely forgotten it. Can you see my? So, Corey, you asked me a question about titles, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what happened was I actually went through. It's not a long video. It's kind of like less than 2 minutes. So I actually went throughout the whole video and I grabbed all the text. So I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 7 compositions worth of text here.
Yep.
I have all the text typed out in After Effects. So that text part is done. So I only need to add into the main composition. So this is my first scene. It's called S1, and so this is, I actually only animate one arrow with the mask. So is anybody have questions on mask? Rohan, you said you need to recap the mask. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I will need to have a little recap on that because
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, me too.
as I was asking you last week how to reveal the letter A,
Yeah.
and
Anybody else apart from Rohan and Maria? Anybody else you need to know mask?
Yeah,
I
that would be
will-
helpful for me as
yeah.
well.
Well, it's good to have a refresher. Last time you did talk about it, but we don't have the recording, so we're a bit
Okay.
stuck,
Okay.
aren't we?
So, okay. Mask. So I have okay. Okay, this is my graphic. Okay, and this is these are all Illustrator files. Okay, and so I actually select the layer with the arrow key in it, and you go and you can. There are two ways to do it. You can actually select the layer, right click. You can actually add a new mask. It's gonna so in this case, it's gonna add shape of the graphic. So if you right click and add a new layer, if not, there's another way of doing it. Is you select the layer, and then you can actually add a mask like this as well with the pen tool. You can create the mask with the pen tool. It's gonna create the mask.
So if we need the mask to be exactly the same shape as our shape, we can do it with
The pen tool.
with the pen tool.
Yeah. So if you want to do exactly shape, you need to obviously it doesn't automatically create the shape of this to the mask, but you got to draw with the pen tool.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are two ways. So I have shown you two ways now. So right click, mask, new mask, and then you can actually use the pen tool to create a mask. And also, if you can actually use one of these shapes to create a mask, rectangular shape. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you, what happened was if you, while you intended to create a mask, but you forgot to select the layer, and then that's gonna happen. It's create a shape layer. This is a very common mistake.
You always got to make sure that you click the layer before doing like a shape or anything on top of it.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will create that
shape layer. Yeah. Right. Now, in this scenario, let's say let's say just the shape of the mask, shape the graphic as a mask. So you got this, and then if you open up, and then you go mask path. This is the only field you're going to be animating. And then so if you want to reveal something, you got to hide these options, hide these ones like that. That's your hidden. So okay, so that's mask. So for in this scenario, do you think I actually did only one arrow, and then I duplicated it. So I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arrows. So also the duplicates of the arrow, but the arrangement, can you see one after the other?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go and open up, how to open up the layers? What command do I use to open up the layers?
U.
Perfect. See that? So when the arrangement was just after the keyframe. I got 3 keyframes to reveal the mask. Then I move all the other layers to see that one after the other. Okay.
Nice.
And
yeah.
okay, so let me add the audio for this. And then who's that? More, okay. This is my scene. Where's my audio? Okay, so this is my audio from that video. It wasn't a straightforward thing to do because I got to mess around some few settings.
The government has set out 5 tests that must be met before we begin to adjust social distancing measures.
Okay, so if you look at the audio, let me go back and just share that audio. Just go back. Oh, sorry.
The government has set out 5 tests that must be met before we begin to.
So it says.
The government has set out 5 tests that must be met.
Must be met before we begin, and then after that, it's going to fade into the next scene. So if I go back and share my screen. So this is my, who's that? Alexandra. Can everybody see my After Effects now?
Yeah.
The government has.
So so I need to, because there's a huge gap in the beginning. I got to probably crop this. So how do you crop a layer in After Effects? How do you chop it? How do you chop?
You isn't it split layer?
Perfect.
At the top, you have to click edit.
Edit.
Yeah, split layer.
Split layer. Okay. And put the audio. If you press the waveframe, you can see the waveframe. And I'm gonna move that bit to the beginning. So
the government has set out 5 tests that must be met before.
So
5 tests that must be met before we. The government has set out 5 tests that must.
5 tests
must be met.
Must be met is here, and then in this text again, split layer, and then you're gonna go into here.
The government has set out 5 tests that must be met before we begin to adjust social distancing.
Right? So that is a start. And then if you, that is my composition on the first scene. Okay? Before we begin.
Tests that must be met before we begin to adjust social distancing measures.
Before we begin to, so you mean we need to finish that before here, somewhere here. And then you got to go into the second scene, which is the so if I go to the second scene, right, so this is my second scene, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk about this. So you see that mask thing? So I got blue figure here, okay, and then the red figure on top, but you got the mask. So if I delete this, so there's no mask. So I got blue and red. See that? This is red and blue, two figures, okay, on top of each other. There is no mask. So I am gonna add. So I want when the mask comes in, I want to hide the. I want to reveal the red, but hide the blue. So I am gonna right click new mask. So I got this, and I'm gonna animate the mask. Hold on. So that's where the animation start. And then go forward. There you go. Yeah. Any questions? And then this scene. Again, here, as you can see, is parenting involved. So I have only, let me just show you. I got only one animation, one single thing animating. So it's just, see that? There's a one keyframe, and then I parent to the others, to the animate. You understand this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So only one moving, and then if you parent to that figure, all the others will follow exactly.
So follow the leader, yeah?
They follow the leader. And also, can you see there was a there was a cover. It's called cover. That I have actually in my, let me just take this out. Can you see the it's like I create a box exact color as the background to just to sorry, one second. See that it's rather than coming appearing from the edge of the screen, I want it to be coming. This is because like for example, if you go back to, because I'm exactly following my other video, so if you go back here and
to adjust. So one of the most important tests is the rate of infection. We have to make sure this is decreasing. All viruses, like normal flu, have a rate of infection. Scientists call this R. R is the average number of people
see
one
this?
infected person
the way it
passes
comes
the virus
into the scene?
The average number of people. R is the average number of people. R is the average number of people one infected person passes.
Right, so kind of like rather than it's coming into the scene very quickly. That's because there was a cover behind. It's just jump into the scene.
Janica, can you go back to where it says the R, or are you going to do the R next?
You mean the
R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I show you this one, right?
Yeah. How's it come in?
Okay, good. Let's go back and see how it's coming in, and then we'll replicate that. Okay. So around here. Sorry, one second.
This R.
Right. Okay, let's see
Rate of
again.
infection. Scientists call this R.
All right. Can you see? Okay, let's start again. Let's see again.
Rate of infection. Scientists call this R.
So you see, when it comes, it bounces back and stays there.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go back and let's do that again. Right. What I'm going to do is actually let's do it in here.
Actually, Janica.
Yeah.
Before you do that bit, it might be better to do the like just show me the trim path, like how they did that. Then
Okay.
go
Okay.
start.
Okay.
So then I can try and understand that video, how it's working.
Perfect. Right. There you go. Trim paths. Actually, let me actually hide these ones for a second.
So it's like they're appearing. So if that was like, say that was off the screen, that's like them appearing onto the screen, in a sense, yeah. With using the trim path.
And remember, I talked about the covers in a few seconds ago.
Did you? I can't remember. I didn't hear that.
Look, cover. I put boxes to cover.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry.
It's kind of like a cheating kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, look, it's coming behind. Now, if I hide the covers, say it's there.
Ah. Okay.
So I wanted to hide them by putting some boxes on top. Simple as that.
So you just create another layer as a cover.
Yeah. The same color as the background.
Right.
So it's just kind of like a mask in a different way. Do you understand?
A mask, but not a mask.
Exactly. It's kind of like a cheating mask.
Yeah.
Right. So trim paths. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see how this trim path is done doing this.
Trim paths. So line, okay, no fill, outline red, 25, perfect, and then let's say this is my stroke, okay? You know how I did that. You've probably seen it, like drawing with pen. Now, when you have that, you go add here, and you go to trim paths here. Then when you open up the trim paths option, so you only scrub the end value. You animate that, simple as that. So end value is 0 on the beginning, and at the end is 100. So I got this, I got that. That's it.
Okay.
It's easier than the stroke and the other right on effect. So how do I change the stroke to round corner? It's at the moment it's flat. How can I make it round? So if you go up to here, shape, under stroke. Huh?
Change the fill.
No, under stroke, you can actually line cap to to round cap, butt cap to round cap. See that? It's changed.
So it's got a smoother, like a more
Yeah,
round
so at the
edge.
moment it's butt cap, it's like a straight point.
Mm.
And
Just
then
flat.
if you go into round cap, it gives you that round effect.
Mhm. I heard brown, the color.
Round. Round.
Round.
Right. So you know that you got you got the audio. So basically you know the reason why I put all this text, so then I can, so I animate all my scenes, and then I put the audio into the main composition. Then I can actually grab these text according to the audio. I can place them in a sequence, right? Right. So how to do this R animation? That's the next one. So if I go here after this, let's say I'm gonna move this one around here. Let's probably, and then
Actually, sorry, Janika, before you go on to the R, I just got this question. I can see that you're moving the lines with those shapes. How do you just have those shapes moving on the trim path like that?
Okay, yeah, it's simple. It's I have the it's a position of the, okay, let me actually do that to show you.
Yeah.
So if I copy that virus icon to the trim path, let me actually delete these keyframes and then I'll do it again. So this one, okay. So I go to start from here. Let's say start from here.
Yeah.
And I need to follow this, yeah, path. So I go position, but I need to follow that path basically. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to change my angle.
Ah, so you use it that way to match the line. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't realize you could do that. All right.
But now I need to adjust the speed. Now it's going a bit further, faster. And so see that you need to follow the path. So got to be able to, now if you go here, you open up.
How do you make it match the same speed as the line then?
That's what I'm trying to do now. So
right.
I'll show you, watch this. So I actually did you see what I did? Now at the moment, look at this. My space between the path is shorter than the space between the keyframes of the virus. This is the virus, okay? Okay,
yeah.
See that? So I got to reduce. It should be other way around. So basically, so I go, oh sorry, it's just changed the color. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my last keyframe of that virus. I just squeeze that in. See that? When you squeeze that in, you can actually see something happening here. See that?
We can do this just in this case, just like this.
Yeah.
No, automatically.
No. So
You have to do it manually, innit? You can't
Manually,
do it,
yeah, manually.
not automatically. It needs to be manual.
Mm.
yeah, I mean manually it's hard. Like now, look, it's there, but slightly
Faster than the light.
faster. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this problem in my composition.
Yeah. So
Now,
the closer the keyframe, the faster it moves, isn't it?
absolutely.
The further the keyframe is, then the slower it moves. Yeah. Okay.
Now it's better.
See, now that flows like that, and then you can create whatever path you want using the trim path to make it move in whatever direction or angle that you want it to be. Okay.
Janaka, can you parent this, or it's impossible? I mean, if you do parent, or
okay, good question. Okay, I don't know. Let me try it. Shall we try that? So in that case, so I don't have. I'm going to delete the keyframe for the virus. Okay. So there's no keyframe, and it's still there, but yeah, it's still here. So I want to put it here. So okay, so let's try. I don't know. I never tried it. So this is my shape.
no,
it doesn't work because it actually, you know why it doesn't work? Because it doesn't.
It's one object.
Yeah, it's not position moving.
Yes, yeah, it's not moving.
The trim path, yes. So that's why it's not moving. But actually, let me try to link this to the trim path. If I can. No, it doesn't give me that option.
So parenting cannot work with a trim path.
Hold on a second. What's happening here? It's working for some degree. See that? Yeah, parent is not working with the trim path. That's what we found out now. It's not working.
Yeah, so you need to do it manually. It has to be done the way how you did it earlier.
So,
you must play.
Yeah. It needs more time to mess about with it. That's the only thing, and trying to see if there is a way. But
if you have one object, to do it manually is no big deal, basically.
But if you've got multiple, then after you need to find a shortcut.
If they move together, you can parent all the objects.
All of them together, yeah.
Yeah, but if they move separately, it's
yeah, a bit of a nightmare having to do it like that.
What else? So let's say the camera. So basically, how we can? Okay, one second. Let me share this. Share. How can we?
Like normal flu, have a rate of infection. Scientists call this R. R is the...
Okay, so moving that slide and coming this slide in. So that's what we're gonna do now. So where is that? Rate of infection. So this is this and SB, and let's say SB and SB4. I want this to be slide out and I want this to be slide in, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a main composition. Main. I'm going to put SB3, SB2, SB2 here. Yeah, and then SB5.
After Effects.
No, SB4. Okay, so SB4 and 2. So you can see there are two compositions on top of each other, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is maybe Corey. This might help you when you do the transitions.
Yeah, it will.
Paolo is late. Right. So if I ask you a question, can you animate layers? Can you animate? So what would you do? What would you do before you add camera into the scene? What would you do to your layers?
Split your layers.
No. So at the moment, your layers are 2D, right? How do you make your layers? I'm asking a different question in a different way.
You've got
So
to
how
hit
do
the
you make
3D object. The 3D object on there.
Yeah.
To make
Yeah. How do you make your 3D objects?
the 3D on there, innit? Up. There it is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this before.
These are 3D now, right? Now I'm gonna add my camera. Right click, camera in the scene, and then I want, at the moment you're looking through the camera, I'm going to go to custom view. So active camera mode, custom view. Okay, this is your custom view. Now you can see those two compositions on top of each other. So let me just put the camera on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position them alongside. Let's say this one, I need to come here like that. So if I need to make sure these are correctly aligned, so I gotta go into 4 views. Yeah, see that these are not aligned together. So if I look at the top view, I need to make sure they are properly aligned to each other. So I'm gonna go like that. And then in the front view, I'm gonna move just next to each other. So if I wanted to go one view, top. So this is, you can actually arrange nicely. So if I wanted to go to front view, you can actually see these are two nicely aligned, okay? Now go back to custom view again. So your camera, go to animate. So I'm gonna animate my camera position. So this is my camera position 1, and then so no, sorry, 1 second. So point of interest, yeah, point of interest and the position has to become. There you go. Okay, and once you go to animate point of interest and position together. Point of interest is that the position is that piece. So you go to animate. There you go.
Ai
That's
fost?
transition.
Ai fost sau de acum te duci? Ai fost, nu? Hai cum te să fac sim. Am așteptat să nu se răcească.
That's a transition. So it's slightly off the camera, but I can actually adjust it here. Slightly moving up. There you go. There's some background noise.
Maybe you can mute.
Who's that, Alexander? So that's a transition. Okay. Any questions?
No. It looks like it might be a bit fiddly with the camera to get it perfect.
Can I see it? Can I just see it again, please? Janet, just play it again, please.
One sec. Sorry, 1 second here, because it's not enough space to display. Obviously, there are things need to be changed, timing and etc. etc.
Yeah, so using that, as you create a 3D object, then you use the camera to make it pan left or right, and then you add in everything else. Okay.
Yeah, so you can actually arrange it. So also, let's say, if I wanted to add another composition on top, okay, let's put this one on top. So I'm gonna make it 3D, and yeah, and then my camera goes here like this. Once it's finished, to here, and then around here, I can actually move my camera to the top. It's in the beginning, it's kind of like a bit fiddly to move the camera. So because you can actually change, the camera position, and then the let's say camera position, the point of interest. I'm gonna go in here with that. can actually change the point of interest like that, and then position also. There you go. And then if you go back to your active camera mode, and that's your animation. So once it finished, oops, once it finished, see that? It's moving to the next one. So we've got to make sure this is finished here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click create, copy these frames, and then again paste that frames. Just the hold up frames. They call it hold up frames. So here, move, holding up until here, and then move the camera to the top, to the next scene. And then on my active view, I might change my angles, point of interest, to keep it nicely fit into that scene. In the beginning, you find it quite difficult to mess around with the camera, but once you do more, once you get the hang of it, you'll be it's easy. And let's do custom 3. It's kind of like. So if I made that point, okay, straight. So boom, hold up, boom. Yeah. Any questions on the camera? You want to have a break now? Hello.
Yes, please.
Shall we have a break and then we'll come back? And then, yeah.
So like maybe you can just leave it open, just like mute and stop the video. So it's easier, so we don't have to use it another code and all that.
Shall I leave it like this?
Yeah, just leave it like that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to stop recording and then we start recording after. Okay, that's fine, no problem. How do you stop recording? Okay, stop it. How do you stop recording? Oh no, you can't stop recording because when you stop recording,